In the early years of American professional sports, diversity did not exist as leagues consisted of primarily Caucasian players.
Success, be nobleness, and every gain.
Fortunately, the diversity began to increase in 1902 with Lou Castro's entrance in the MLB as the first Latino player and Jackie Robinson in 1947 as the league's first African American player. With the NBA, the first African American player appeared in 1950 with Chuck Cooper's selection in the NBA draft. However, the country's pro sports league still remained without Asians.
Despite prospering in the early 20th century, the MLB continued to lack Asian players until the 1960s for multiple reasons, including anti-Asian immigration policies like the Chinese Exclusion Act, which made it difficult for any prospective players to migrate. Also, no Asian leagues at the time existed since Asian pro baseball leagues only began decades after the MLB, with the Japanese Professional Baseball League in 1936 and the Korean League in 1982. In 1956, the MLB saw its first Asian player with the Cincinnati Redlegs outfielder Bobby Balsena, a Filipino-American baseball player from San Pedro, California. Unfortunately, Balsena only played 7 games that season and never returned afterwards, eventually retiring 6 years later. After World War II, the U.S. seized control of Japan. Although part of this involved prohibiting the country from building an army, U.S. control of Japan also introduced various aspects of Western culture to the Japanese, such as the American sport of baseball, which the Japanese eventually adopted. Proof of this would be the migration of Japanese citizens to the United States and Hawaii, because according to Brian Leah's book titled More Than a Game, Sport in the Japanese American Community, the Issei spent their free time engaging in sports, particularly sumo and baseball. In addition, as more and more Issei moved to the US, baseball's popularity grew to a point that there were now several Japanese American baseball teams and leagues in Hawaii and the West Coast.
In 1928, the Japanese American Courier was founded in Seattle. However, the company did more than produce newspapers because in Samuel Regalato's article titled Baseball and Seattle's Japanese American Courier League, the newspaper also promoted the development of American ideals among the Japanese community in the form of baseball and the Courier League, which featured American-born Japanese players. After the sporadic presence of Asian players in the Major League Baseball since the 1950s, Ichiro Suzuki migrated to the MLB from Japan as part of the 2001 Seattle Mariners. During his debut year, Ichiro drew attention by winning both the MVP and the Rookie of the Year awards, proving to the league that Asian players can succeed in the MLB.
Ichiro 0 for 3 in his Mariner and Major League debut. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball back up the middle. That's into center field. And Ichiro is on the board with his first Major League hit.
Today, this idea couldn't be more true with players like the Angels rookie Shohei Ohtani and the Cubs 7-year veteran pitcher Yu Darvish, both of whom come from Japan. In addition, there is also Korea's Hyunjin Ryu, who pitched in Game 2 of the 2018 World Series. With basketball, the NBA had its first Asian player with Wataru Misaka, a Japanese-American player who played for the Knicks back in 1947. Unfortunately, Misaka's career was even shorter than Balsena, only playing 3 games before being released and retiring shortly after.
With the first pick in the 2002 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets select Yao Ming from Shanghai, China, and the Shanghai Sharks.
In 2002, the NBA reached another milestone with the arrival of Yao Ming, who made history by becoming the first foreigner to be drafted first overall by the Houston Rockets. However, Yao Ming's legacy did not end there, because as Yao became an 8-time All-Star and an eventual Hall of Famer, he also grew to represent his people and increase NBA viewership in China. In 2012, the NBA saw yet another Asian take the spotlight as Chinese-American Jeremy Lin exploded in a phenomenon best known as Linsanity. Prior to the NBA, Lin faced adversity as a player who did not receive college offers or scholarships despite his excellent performance, all because he was Asian. In addition, Lin was never drafted yet somehow averaged 26.8 points per game, which surprised the league since Lin was just an Asian benchwarmer. According to Oliver Wang, it was through Linsanity that it was revealed how much we still want to talk about race. With the current state of American professional sports, Asian athletes are starting to establish themselves as part of the leagues like the NBA and MLB. Though they still remain underrepresented and are practically non-existent in the NFL, NHL, and MLS, it wouldn't be surprising if Asians start emerging in other leagues 10 years from now.